Hey guys, Survival Radio Network. We're here at the 2015 Live Your Legacy Summit, and I have the pleasure of being one of the main theater speakers, Ms. Sheri Riley. How are you?
I am wonderful. How are you doing?
I'm blessed and highly favored.
Yes. Oh, let me touch that. Y'all don't see us, but we touch it. I'm touching it and
Gotta
agreeing.
give it away. Gotta give it away. Well, so I guess we'll start here. What brings you to this wonderful event?
Well, one, Araya and her energy and her heart to serve. And I met her at another event, and she invited me last year to participate as one of the mastermind sessions. And this year she invited me as one of the keynote. And I love the energy. I love the community. I love the like-minded group of individuals that she brings together. And at the heart of it, everyone here wants to serve in some capacity.
When did service become important to you in your life?
Oh my goodness.
Was it always there?
Yeah, I don't think it ever became important. It's just always been there. I'm an only child. And, there's usually only children were either really selfish or we're really giving.
That'd be me. No.
and I fall on that really giving. But here's the thing that I found, though. I found where I give best. I have a good friend who she gives in a different way than I give. And I think what we have to do a lot of times is we feel like if we're not, actively involved in a philanthropic endeavor, or if we don't start a 501c3, we can't give.
Right.
And what I say is however you best give, whether that's writing a check, whether that's volunteering your time, whatever that is. And so I found the best way I give. And I do that all the time.
If some people have a stage, you obviously have a platform. But what I was talking to a friend the other day, and the power of giving does not have to always be broadcast, right?
Right.
And I think if we got in a habit of doing it without needing to have a pat on the back or, hey, look what I did, this world would be a lot better.
Yeah.
Enough of that. Let me just switch gears on it. You see, you got me over here. You're the founder of Exponential Living. Tell me a little bit about that. I like that name.
Oh, thank you. Exponential
is nothing
Living.
to be played with.
That's it. Exponential Living is pursuing peace, choosing clarity, and living courageously. And I've developed a proprietary program. It's 9 principles of exponential living, and they serve as the guide for high achievers to stop spending 100% of our time on 10% of who we are.
That's a hard flip. We love our 10%.
We love that 10%. But here's the thing. We are getting burnt out.
Yeah.
We are getting stuck. We're burning relationships. We're disconnecting from who we are. And so what we're finding and what I'm finding is high achievers are getting to that point where they're saying, enough is enough. I want more freedom. I want to enjoy my family. I want to be present with my children, not just providing for my children. And I'm finding that a lot of high achievers are ready to make that shift out of that 10%.
Well, you asked me a question earlier. What was the best part I liked? So I'll answer that now.
Okay.
And it was a small thing. And you told a story. I'm a big story person. It just pulls me in.
Yeah.
It makes me, I think I find a little bit about the person through a story. But I love the fact that you were honest enough to admit that in your trial, you're talking about you being on a bike and exercising, being pushed to your limits, right? That there is that voice that says you cannot do it.
Yeah.
No matter how great others might think you are, there's always that constant battle with that guy or girl that says, you can't do this. Like, quit. Go ahead. It'll be okay.
You've done enough.
You've done enough. How do you combat that on a consistent basis so that you have more wins than losses?
Well, as a woman of faith, I fight that battle in my prayer closet. And then I get up and I fight that battle with the word of God. And then I continue to fight that battle by believing that I am his daughter and that he loves me. Now, for those of us who have a different walk, mine is a faith walk, but for those of us who have a different walk, we have to be very intentional about how we manage our thoughts. One of the principles is pursuing peace and choosing clarity. And when we pursue the peace, meaning the inner peace, when we really talk to ourselves that we are enough and stay connected to ourselves, it allows us to be empowered, right? Peace is our power. It allows us to be empowered when that voice starts saying what you can't do. When you have peace and when you really surrender and pursue peace, you get so much power, so much joy, that it allows you to consistently get up and say, I can do this because I've already done it. If you're still here, you've overcome something.
You most certainly have, whether you recognize it or not. You said a lot of key words in there, but one thing I love that I live about is clarity.
Yes.
And in today's era of confusion, technology, and everybody wants a piece of you, it's very hard to have that in the big cities that we live in, right?
Yes.
When do we slow down to have that? Can you, before we get, I know you gotta go, but I like talking to you.
Yes, I love it.
What's one thing that we can do at home to start off that journey to easing a gap of clarity in our life? Because once you start it, it can expand.
Hmm. One of the core realities that exponential living deals with, I call it 4 pain points. Now what? What's next? Is this it? And how do I live?
Mm.
And what I find with my high achievers, right, us, is clarity and lack of peace. Those are the 2 biggest issues, clarity and lack of peace. And how we get to both of those, how do we get to that place of clarity, is one, we have to sometimes find a great coach or a life strategist that we can talk to. A lot of times we just need to hear ourselves think, right? Because it's there, it's just clouded.
Mm-hmm.
The other is we have to really get our perspective in order. Because when we pursue, a lot of times we continue to pursue the thing that's causing us the lack of clarity. So we think it's that I need more money. I just talked to a mother, and the mother was just sharing with me, she has 2 kids in private school, and she said, I want to give them more. I want to give them more. And I stopped and I said, but you have 2 children in private school. That is the more. That is the more. And when I said that to her, it released her. See, we don't get clarity by pursuing the thing that's making us unclear. So what I believe in is first prayer as a woman of faith, but the other side of that is reflective thinking. And reflective thinking is different than thinking, because what we call thinking really isn't thinking. All we're doing is replaying, and we're replaying memories. Thinking is when you're intentional about something new. You're allowing your mind to take in something new. Reflective thinking is when you're allowing your mind to access and assess what you've done. What does it mean, and how do you do it differently? But we don't do that. We just keep going. So for those of us seeking clarity, give yourself the freedom and the permission to just stop.
Why do I feel like in order to do that at a higher level and more consistent, they need to speak with you?
I would love it.
Is that
I would love it.
Would you please let everybody know who's listening and will be listening to this, how they can get in touch with you and like today?
Well, I thank you so much. My name is Sheri Riley. My website is SheriRiley.com, and that's SheriRiley, 1 R and an I. And that's my social media, Instagram, Sheri Riley, Twitter, Sheri Riley, and then Facebook and LinkedIn is SheriRiley.com, DLTCOM. And I would love each one of your listeners to go to my website and join my Exponential Living community, where when you sign up, I give you 20 tips for exponential living. And the last tip is laugh and laugh often.
You seem to always have a great smile, so I'm gonna buy into that.
Yes.
Thank you so much. It's been an honor and pleasure. I love coming to these events because I always meet people like this.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to share.
Pleasure's all ours. Thank you.